fellow fans of 76ers Nation, it is time we put an end to the absolute bullshittery that has been Josh Harris owning this franchise over the last 10 years. This has gone on too long, the failure of this team every single damn year. I've been a fan since 2013, when I was about 8 years old. This was the first year of the Sam Hinkie era, and I was so excited for this team because Sam Hinkie was telling us that he was going to get all these high draft picks and build through the draft, and it was going to work, and we were going to eventually be a good team. Was that a fucking mistake? Jesus Christ. 2013, we have the second worst record in the league. Absolutely horrible. Not to worry, though, because we draft Nerlens Noel and Michael Carter-Williams. I mean, Michael Carter-Williams won Rookie of the Year. After that, what else did he do in his career? Nothing. Backup point guard. Nerlens Noel? Where is Nerlens Noel right now? I don't know. I don't know where Nerlens Noel is because he's probably not an NBA roster. These people are not good. So already we're a failure. That was 19 wins in 2013. 2014 was even worse. We win 18 games. We got a high draft pick. You think we'll be better the next year? That's just false. Here's example A. Ridiculous. We get Joel Embiid. The only good pick we drafted in this past 10 years was Joel Embiid, and it was great. It's a shame he has the durability of my grandma walking down the stairs. Every single fucking year this man gets injured. It's ridiculous. He's so good, too. It hurts. And then we draft Elfrid Payton at pick 10, which is who cares, and we're trading for Dario Saric, who's equally mid. That's just a waste of everybody's time. Everybody's time, that's just a complete waste. So next year, we go in, and it's 2015, 2016. At this point, I'm like 10. I don't really know what's going on, but I'm just kind of excited. We're getting all these young players. We're going to get better, right? Eventually. I mean, that's what Sam Hinkie said, right? It still gets even worse. We go 10-72. 10-72. That is the worst record of all time in an 82-game season. Like, I had to watch 55 games of Ish Smith starting at point guard. Like, our third best player was fucking Hollis Thompson. Hollis Thompson. Like, it's ridiculous. I can't... Like, it was just pain. I would turn off the game after the first quarter and just take a nap because that'd be equally as productive as watching the product that was on the court. It was unfathomable, the pain that I was feeling in 5th grade. And by the way, we started that year? We started that year 0-28. We had 28 straight losses. Talk about hopeless. That is just unbelievable. Like, and we draft, oh my God, that year we say, okay, we have Nerlens Noel, we have Joel Embiid, we'll draft a third center. We draft a third center as Jahlil Okafor. Useless. You know where Jahlil Okafor is right now? He's in China. He's playing in China. Like, this is the most random people ever, and the top of the draft is just failure every single time. Like, and Joel, by this point, he didn't even play. He didn't even play a single game. 2 years, he's just sitting on the bench with an injury. Like, man, it was just absolutely fucking pathetic. Next year, 2016, 2017. Luckily, after those 10 wins, we finally draft somebody who's like, at least they should be the top of the class. The number 1 pick. We get to choose anybody we want. And we choose Ben Simmons. Oh my God. Ben Simmons, absolutely fucking pathetic. And that wasn't even the most eventful thing that happened that offseason because Sam Hinkie got fired. Because we all finally got tired of his bullshittery with these high draft picks. High draft picks do not work. It literally, there is proof right there that when you get high draft picks, these high draft picks do not result in winning because we just kept getting worse. Every year we got worse. It was absolutely pathetic. It depends more on who you're going to have in charge, and that person was Sam Hinkie, who's an absolute fool. So there's no point. If we have idiots up top, then nothing down low is going to be good at all. Brett Brown, head coach, like, useless. Absolutely useless. And the Ben Simmons that year didn't even play a single game because he had a foot fracture on the last day of training camp. That's like 3 years in a row our first round pick doesn't even play their rookie year. We're just useless. I mean, Joel played that year. He played really good for like 30 games before he got hurt again. Like, it's just pure pain. And that maybe that to an extent that was worth it because in 2017, 2018 we get the number 1 pick again. That's awesome. And we draft, like, we could get Jason Tatum. I mean, this is great. I was so excited. And then we draft Markelle Fultz and his fucked up shoulder. Like, maybe some of you who are too young to even know who Markelle Fultz is because he's so irrelevant right now. He's playing for Orlando. Like, these are useless. The number 1 pick. Like, I can't even believe that happened. Looking back on it, it's ridiculous. But I mean, That year, we won around 50 games even without Markelle Fultz doing fucking anything because Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons were actually kind of healthy, and it was good. It was good. But we beat Miami. We even beat Miami first round. That was pretty good. And then we got absolutely fucking shit on by Boston because they're actually a well-run franchise. Like, come on, man. This is just it's the dumbest shit. It is the dumbest shit that happens to this team. And you know whose fault that was that series? That was Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons already. The signs were already there that hey, maybe this guy cannot lead us to anywhere productive. And like this is literally Ben Simmons' rookie year, and we already know this. It's already horrible. Then Brian Colangelo, the guy who took over for Sam Hinkie and did pretty much nothing besides draft Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz, which is probably worse than nothing, honestly. He has a stupid burner Twitter accounts and gets fired. So we bring in Elton Brand. We bring in Elton Brand, former player, right? A lot of experience. He's just an absolute travesty that was bringing in Elton Brand. And like this man, absolutely fucking pathetic. And Elton Brand, his first move as GM, he drafts Mikal Bridges at 10. An actual great drafting. Mikal Bridges is awesome. He averages like 25 points per game these days. He was from the hometown of Philadelphia. I was so happy. I was like, yes, we got Mikal Bridges. And then 20 minutes into the draft, we trade him for Zaire Smith. Who the fuck is Zaire Smith? Like this is Elton Brand's first time as a GM. The people up top have no idea what they're doing with these high draft picks. We're just wasting them on the dumbest shit ever. Zaire Smith. Absolutely ridiculous. That season, Elton Brand, he says, no, we're done with all Sam Hinkie's picks. We're going to trade him all away. We're going to go all in. So we get Jimmy Butler. Like, maybe the only, like, consistent good player that we've had on our team ever in the past 10 years. It was great. Pretty good trade. We trade away all our depth for him. Robert Covington, Dario Saric. Like, I mean, half our roster. So we have no backups now. We're just Jimmy Butler's great, but, like, there goes our whole bench that Sam Hinkie put 3 years of his life taking his shit into. That's awesome, right? And maybe an even better trade at that deadline. Elton Brand's like, no, Jimmy Butler's not going all in. You know what's going all in? We get Tobias Harris. Like, Tobias Harris on his last year of his contract. Jimmy Butler's on his last year of his contract. These are two guys who are just going to leave. They're just probably going to leave. And we trade all our capital for them. That's just useless. That was absolutely useless. I mean, we had a pretty good year that year. We get to the second round of the playoffs, and Kawhi Leonard breaks everybody's heart with that Game 7 game winner. I'm not even going to go even more in depth. It hurts just talking about that to this day. But we just never really recovered from that. But, I mean, we can't even really blame, like, I mean, Joel was horrible. Ben Simmons was horrible again. Tobias Harris did nothing. I mean, we should have won that series, and we get smacked in Game 7. Like, it's just horrible. It's horrible. And then 2019-2020 comes around, and this was truly the end of me owning this hat. I am fucking done! We signed Al Horford! We say, okay, Jimmy Butler's just going to leave, so let's get another good player, right? I'm like, all right, let's go. And we signed 50-year-old Al Horford, so almost a max contract, to be the backup center. That's just stupid. It makes no sense. Every single time. Makes no sense. And you know what? And you know what might be even worse than that we did that same offseason? We signed Tobias for $180 million. Tobias Harris got paid a max contract for our team to average 14 points per game and sit in the corner in the playoffs. Why is Josh Harris allowing this to happen? Did he okay this with Elton Brand? Because I don't know whoever the fuck is making these decisions. Horrible every single time. Ridiculous. We have a horrible season. Our team is awful. We are the 6th seed. We get swept. By Boston in round 1. We get absolutely dismantled. Ben Simmons didn't even play that series because he hurt his back and is just sitting on the sideline. That was our number 1 pick. Unbelievable. And you know what happened to Markelle Fultz, our other number 1 overall pick that year? We traded him for Jonathan Simmons. Not Ben Simmons. He's already bad enough. We get Jonathan Simmons, who did literally nothing for us. That was the number 1 overall pick 2 years earlier. High picks are not going to matter when you have this shit happening repeatedly. Then, luckily, after that travesty of a season, Elton Brand gets fired because he's horrible at his job. Brett Brown gets scapegoated for that series. What is he supposed to do with that team? He gets fired too. So we bring in Daryl Morey to be our GM. You know, he was pretty good in Houston. Is that going to be helpful? I don't know. I mean, I feel like he actually did a pretty good job. But the only issue is for our head coach, Daryl Morey's like, let's get someone with championship pedigree. Let's get someone who we know can lead to winning. And I was so excited when he was saying that. I was like, all right, who's going to introduce? It's going to be someone nice. And it's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers, who's been riding his 2008 championship for like the past 15 years, and he's done literally nothing. Doc Rivers is more known for blowing a 3-1 lead than actually doing something. Why is that who we end up with as our head coach? As if this team wasn't already dysfunctional enough. Absolutely pathetic. And we trade after the travesty that was the Al Horford contract. Luckily, we were able to dump him for Danny Green, which is just, again, useless moves. I mean, we get money off our books, but, like, man, Danny Green, like, averages 6 points per game, dude. That we signed Al Horford for $120 million, and we trade him for someone who averages 6 points per game. It's so frustrating every single year. But luckily, that year, we actually do good. We end up as the 1 seed. And this might have been our only good chance to actually do something. And I'm like, okay, Ben Simmons is playing good this season. Joel's not hurt. And then we go into the playoffs. We win round 1. All right, let's go, guys. And then you know what? We lose in the second round to Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Hands in the air for Josh Harris. Good organization, man. You lost to fucking Atlanta. They had no business even being in the playoffs, and we lose because Ben Simmons doesn't want to shoot a free throw. He's going to pass up an open dunk in the fourth quarter of a playoff game because he doesn't want to shoot free throws. He shot 33% from the free throw line. You can put me on the court, and I can shoot 33% from the free throw line. And that was our number 1 pick. Absolute travesty in the playoffs. Every single time. My God. Then 2021. 2022, Ben Simmons complains because he's so horrible and his teammates actually call him out on it. He's like, I'm not going to play for guys anymore. He's going to sit out. Awesome, right? Daryl Morey, time to cook. Maybe get a good trade going. And then we trade for old-ass James Harden. How does he even fit with Joel Embiid? We trade our number 1 pick, Ben Simmons, for James Harden in 2021. That's just like, oh my God. Every single bad move in a row. It's like a needle stabbing into my chest. Ugh. And then we make the second round again. Awesome, right? And we just get sat on by Jimmy Butler because he's actually a capable player. Jimmy's like, yeah, you guys suck. My old team, yeah, get sat on. We get sat on by Miami. Where was James Harden in that series? I don't know. Tobias Harris is sitting in the corner. That's not helpful. Joel just out there getting injured. He just falls down. He falls down every single play. I swear to God. It's every single play. And we just lose in the playoffs every single year because of that shit. Oh, my God. Like, Ben Simmons not playing and sitting out on purpose to just get traded for James Harden. Like, little bitch. I bet your mom tucks you in when you go to sleep, buddy. Absolutely ridiculous. And then last year was the culmination of all this bullshittery. 2022-2023. Daryl Morey actually signs good players in free agency. Like, Georges Niang's pretty good. PJ Tucker was helpful. I mean, D'Anthony Melton was really good, actually. Like, he's one of my favorite players on the team right now. But you know what? That's all for naught. Even with Joel Embiid getting the MVP, we have a 3-2 series lead on Boston, an actual lead. And then Doc Rivers blows it again! James Harden, absent in the fourth quarter. Where even is he? Tobias Harris plays like dog shit. Joel Embiid just gets hurt again. Like, it's ridiculous. It's endless failure. Endless failure. Time after time. Year after year. It's absolute travesty. 11 seasons. And we are in the same place we were in when we started this strategy. Trust the process? What process am I supposed to trust? We get all these high draft picks. That's awesome. We get them all, and we stack them up, and we draft these players. And they're busts over and over. They don't perform. They get hurt. They're little bitches like Ben Simmons. It is ridiculous how bad that strategy was. This does not work. Drafting all these players high is not going to work. What really matters is the people in charge. Josh Harris, owner, you do nothing. We've had 3 general managers during this stretch. Sam Hinkie is the one who started this idea. What a horrible idea that is. Can't draft shit. Drafts 3 centers. Brian Colangelo comes in and drafts Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz. Awful. Daryl Morey comes in and makes all these stupid trades. And just like that, our team is in the shitter again. It's time for a restart. We cannot do this anymore. Every single year. Building through the draft is more about having a good general manager and a good owner who actually know how to do their jobs rather than just having all these high draft picks. Having all these high draft picks is not going to result in winning. It will not. If anything, your team gets worse. Look at what happened. Look at what happened to 76ers. And you know what? Watch out, OKC, because you're doing the same thing we were doing. So if anything, take this as a warning. As someone who went through this pain for 11 years, building through the draft does not work. It will not work when the people up front are dumb as can be. Endless failure. It is over!